Hey guys, Gar197 again, once again with some more new loot. And this time might potentially be my biggest new loot ever. Because, well, one, it's been a while. Two, HLJ has since had its Black Friday sale. And three, I still had a 20% voucher from HLJ. So, yeah, let's get going with some of the newer stuff, or, well, semi-new stuff because it's been a while. The Grace Custom, and I also have to say I'm really enjoying Iron-Blooded Orphans. I caught up to episode 17, and man, am I loving the hell out of it. I wasn't too sure what to expect from Iron-Blooded Orphans in the beginning, and my expectations, I just set them low to not be disappointed, but man, it's turned out as good as I could have hoped, I'd say. One thing I really like now that really caught my attention is that we're finally getting a good female peace-loving character, Kudelia. But before we go on to that, another one, the Hyakuri. This thing looks like it's going to be very back-heavy, but I'm pretty sure the front heaviness of the pilot is going to compensate for it. Which is yet another reason why I wasn't too sure of what to expect from... Oh yeah, of course, that's from Sen. So as I was saying, another reason I wasn't really too sure what to expect from Iron-Blooded Orphans, because some of the character designs looked a bit, you know what. Oh, there we go. Yeah, very front-heavy, plot-heavy. So yeah, the plot in Iron-Blooded Orphans is also very good. But back to Kudelia. So yeah, finally a good peace-loving character, because before Kudelia, we had annoying Shakti from Victory Gundam. We had the atrocity that was Rolina in Gundam Wing. We had Preaching Lacus in Gundam Seed. And this thing already started on, because, well, I wanted that cannon for my Barbatos. And one thing I was surprised by, everything is in a single color. I mean, the white lance, it's just all one gray color. At least it's gray, that's a usable color. But I was expecting to get maybe two colors. I know. I think this is a runner from the Gundam Mark II that actually accidentally got in there. But yeah, really cool cannon nonetheless. A bit sticker heavy though. Yeah, this one's definitely from the Gundam Mark II. As you can see, a bit on the sticker heavy side, but so be it. At least the cannon is really damn awesome. And yeah, other peace-loving characters we got from 00, we had Marina Ismail, which didn't really do a whole lot. I mean, granted she wasn't annoying, but I'm honestly struggling to remember what she really did, other than being a potential love interest for Setsuna, who was too busy drooling all over his Gundam. And man, that's a nice looking axe. So yeah, Iron-Blooded Orphans, really happy about the show, and I'm definitely going to be picking up more model kits related to the show because I'm now really sure that it's going to be an awesome show. And it's quickly becoming one of my more favorite Gundam shows just in general. Ooh, interesting inner frame there. You know, I might just start calling this the Master Grade Grace because it's got an inner frame. Well, that's all of the new Iron-Blooded Orphans kits I got. As I said, look forward to some more, especially the Greys. I really like the design of the Greys. It's like a Leo, but slightly different. You know what's also very different? This thing. Super Fumina. Because yeah, it's a gym. Moving on. So yeah, I really do wonder how that face is going to end up looking. I mean, I've seen so many different pictures. In some, she looks like she's going to steal your soul. In That's the same thing as a Hyakuri, right? Interesting. So yeah, in some pictures she looks as if she's going to steal your soul. In others, she just looks like she has no soul. And then in other, also straight build pictures, she looks pretty damn good. So I don't really know what to expect. But at the very least, I've got a brown Gundam marker still hanging around to do like her eyebrows. So I'm expecting it to at least look decent-ish. I mean, I'm just very excited to see how this looks in real life. Without too much effort. But let's quickly lock that back up and move on. Gundam Mark II. And of course, I got both of them. Titans AU version. Now, I did already kind of build the Titans version, and it might kind of be reviewed tomorrow, because, well, I already filmed the review. The only reason it will not be uploaded tomorrow is if you guys prefer the Schwalbe Grace to be reviewed first, because at this moment, both have been filmed, and they just have to be edited. So tomorrow, one of those two is gonna go live. And just leave a comment down below to say which one you want it to be. So I'm not going to say too much about this now because I don't want to spoil the review for tomorrow. But I will say there's some pretty nice separation going on. Also, clear eyes. Long beam sabers. Manual. So let's quickly pack this up and leave a comment down below if you want the Titans version to be reviewed or if you want the Schwalbe Grace. Then the final new thing I got is from Dagram, the Iron Foot. As I always say, if you haven't seen Dagram yet, what are you waiting for? And go ahead and watch it right now. If you like Gundam, and man, this looks like it's just thrown in there. So yeah, if you like Dagram, if you like Gundam, you'll definitely like Dagram. And I really wonder how this thing is going to turn out, because Max Factory has definitely had a good track record with their Dagram figures, with their Dagram model kits, of always being better than the last one. Yeah, they're horribly expensive every time, but they're definitely learning how to make model kits, and they've increased. Every single one has been better than the last one, so they've always fixed little problems. So I'm very excited to see what they were able to pull off this time. Full-on painting guide, manual, and man, that's a lot of water slide tackles. Also, this thing has been announced. So I'm just very happy to see that Max Factory is really going all the way with Dagram, with the Dagram line, and they are putting out a lot of them. So I hope they're going to also put out the trailers and those helicopter things that carry the combat armors around. And before I move on with the other Gundam stuff, I want to show off this interesting little kit from Wave, which I don't have the best experiences with that one model kit I will not mention. But yeah, this, for obvious reasons, instantly caught my attention because it's a very known design to us Gundam folks. But here's a fun fact. The Gundam Space Colony design is actually an O'Neill cylinder, which is a real-life colony design. And this is a model kit of that O'Neill cylinder. or a space settlement. So meaning that indirectly, this is a model kit of the space colonies from the Universal Century. When I saw that this existed, I could not wait to pick this up. As always with Wave, it's expensive, but with that Black Friday saving and with that extra 20% off, this was pretty affordable because I think it was somewhere 3,000, 4,000 yen. So it's not cheap for what we're getting. As always, kind of with Wave. And, ooh, interesting. There's something else in there. Wow. Now that's impressive. I hadn't really looked at this before, but man, this is nice looking. That's really nice. And the rod. Huh. You know, I think this might just change my opinion about Wave. Well, I'm at a loss for words now. So let's just move on. Also, an additional fact then, it might actually be that if in the future we'll be living in space colonies, we might just be living in Universal Century space colonies. And now moving on to the high grades I got. Super Gundam. Of course, I got the Mark IIs, the new Mark II, so I had to pick this up as well because they are fully compatible. And man, those are a lot of stickers for just the Super Gundam. Yep, as expected, they're gonna go on the wings. Some spare polycaps as well. Very nice looking main cannon. Interesting. This thing is coming with black joints. That's gonna look a hell of a lot better than the purple joints it usually comes with. Also, very nice looking black bazooka, These are some really cool accessories. Huh. That's definitely something to look forward to. On top it goes. Next up, another black machine I got, the Jim Quell, but I think I unboxed that enough because, well, I just can't get enough of my Jim Quells. Rigdom 2. Very nice ooh. Clear part for the visor. That's very nice. And let's see. Oh, no, that's just a single piece heat saber. Now, that would have been really awesome if it also came with an activated heat saber. But I guess we're already getting the clear visors. That's already really cool. And bazooka, machine gun. Oh, huh. Well, that's kind of unusual. I guess it's a positive thing that now at least we're sure that the mono eye is going to be centered. But it's always nice to be able to position the mono eye yourself. You know, for the people who want to pose him in an action pose and keep him in that pose. But so be it. You want firepower? Bam! How about a nuke? And those beam sabers look significantly longer than the standard issue beam sabers. Let's see, this is one of the newer ones, and yeah, it's exactly the same size as the new style beam sabers. That's impressive. I guess it's also kind of necessary, and whoa, those are quite a few stickers. And the dreaded red foil stickers for no good reason. And oh, I wasn't aware this one came with a stand. Guess that goes a long way explaining the price as well, but I thought that the price just went into the shield and his giant nuclear bazooka. Again, that's cool. You get a stand to nuke Solomon easy. Yeah. Well, this set suddenly became a lot more interesting for that price. Do get some cool features with it. So, there we go on the side. Now that's a very cool feature. That's some nice attention to detail there. And please don't fall. What's better than one Dom? Then two Doms. Dom-troping. And this one... Oh. There we go. This one has a movable mono white, so you can put it wherever you want. And let's see. Is this one going to have a clear visor? Nope, no clear visor. Either or. Either or. You can't have it all. But no, dear God, that bazooka looks awesome. Removable cartridge. Sturmfaust galore. I think I'm falling in love. I want to build this. Good God, this thing is awesome. And in case anyone is wondering, nope, I'm not uniquely a Federation fan. I don't discriminate. I'm just not a fan of the whole colony dropping thing. For reasons. Pallas Athene. I've said it on Facebook. I'm suddenly in a really big Titans phase, and oh my God, that's a huge sticker sheet. Moving on. This yellow does not look that great. It's very sun-faded yellow. It seems to look a bit better on camera, but that just looks like it's been out in the sun for too long. And that's a lot of stickers. Man, the entire thing looks sun-faded. Yeah, very sun-faded green. Huh. Well, the colors aren't too appealing immediately. Yeah, I can already see where all the stickers are going to come into play. Well, I was expecting these colors to look slightly better. It would probably be a lot better to just paint it in Titans colors at this point. See how the colors look a lot more vibrant on the box, and then you get those weird sun-faded colors in the box. Not a huge fan of that. Final high-grade Tunels of Century of today. The Gaplant. I wasn't kidding when I was on a Titan spree. And I'm gonna get a lot more Titans kits in the future. And this thing is gonna be impressive, I'm sure of it. I've heard it's a parts former this time around, but when I looked at the transformation, it didn't look like it had too many transforming parts. I mean, too many parts forming parts. Mainly, you just take off one thing, transform it separately, and then just put it back on. It's not like it really requires a separate transformation brick, I think. And with all the extra stuff it comes with, I really am looking forward to building this thing and also checking out how well it works together with the other Advance of Zeta mobile suits, because it does have the let me think, the Hirurudu 2 parts on it, I think. And I'm looking forward to seeing how these parts will work on the other Advance of Zeta model kits. Because of course the one big feat... The box isn't closing anymore. The box isn't closing anymore, damn it. So yeah, the one big feature of the Advance of Zeta model kits is of course interchangeability. Now this is a very different, you know, kind of mobile suit from the regular Hazels, but that's why I'm really curious. How are those claw things and the giant beam cannon, how are those going to work on the other Hazels? Because I do think there was kind of a variant of that. Now we move on to Gundam Seed territory. With Gundam Seed Destiny, I got myself the no-grade Zaku / Phantom. And, well, I quickly assembled it during a break. Sometimes you need a break from studying, and what better way than to quickly throw together one of the Seed no-grades. Very baby bluish. Definitely needs painting, this thing. The other ones are slightly more impressive. The ones I got, starting off with the Providence Gundam, of course, is the remastered version. I have the Ailstrike Gundam, so I figured I really needed a Providence Gundam to go along with Mu. And man, that's an ugly yellow color. That's kinda sickly yellow. Well, I guess it kind of goes along with the pilot. The usual Gundam Seed Gunmetal Gray. The usual Gundam Seed Remastered sticker sheet. And I'm going to assume that the Providence Gundam is just going to be the average Gundam Seed model kit. Will look the way it's supposed to, with average articulation. Another average kit, the Slaughter Dagger. I really like the Slaughter Dagger. It's got a badass color scheme, looks nice. Unfortunately, it comes with the Chicken Wing Ailstriker, but that's why none of my Slaughter Daggers have the Ailstriker on them. Or at least not with the chicken wings. Because chicken wings are for eating. Chicken wings are not for mounting on mobile suits. Know the difference. And I got some more from Stargazer. I just said with the Providence Gundam it was going to be the average Gundam Seed kit, but anything but average are these Stargazer ones. The Blue Duel, it's like the Duel, but upgraded. And not just upgraded as a mobile suit, but also as a model kit. Which you might not be immediately able to tell because of the humongous stickers, but they do upgrade them. And that is the really cool thing about these Stargazer kits, is that they took the original Duel Gundam and gave it extra stuff. And the big new thing about the Blue Duel, just as with the Vert Buster, is that there's a new hip joint which allows it to swivel a bit and also has a hole in it so it can be put on the action base that it comes with. So really, the Blue Duel is a huge improvement over the old Duel. Also, this Assault Child looks way better. Way better. You know, such as articulation. That in and of itself is already a huge improvement. And I just said Vert Buster, so here is the Vert Buster. Here is the Vert Buster. Yeah, I couldn't wait to build that thing. I love the Buster Gundam, and just as with the Blue Duel, this is just an incredible improvement over the Buster Gundam. You can build the original Buster Gundam, you can build the Vert Buster Gundam, or anything in between, which is kind of what I did because, yeah, the Vert Buster's head looks a bit funny with that giant mask going all over the face. Yeah, that really wasn't too appealing. But just as with the Blue Duel, you get the new swivel joint, you get a hole in it so that you can put it on an action base, and it's just made out of pure awesomeness and win. Of course, I got his two friends. I had to get the Strike Noir Gundam again. Because, well, I already had the Strike Noir Gundam, but, yeah, I kind of stole his backpack for one of my Slaughter Daggers. So, yeah. I haven't built the actual Strike Noir itself, only the Noir Striker. So, it's going to be interesting to build the Strike Noir itself, because the thing about the Strike Noir is that his arm joints look very interesting, especially the shoulder joint. On paper, looks like it's going to be way ahead of its time, very modern, but it was an incredible tiny peg that kind of connects that arm joint. So I'm not sure how well that's going to turn out. If you can see it here on the man. Oh, here we go. That's an incredible tiny looking peg that's going to hold on to the weight of the entire arm. On top of that, that double ball joint is entirely made out of plastic and is going to be rubbing against another part that's also made out of plastic. So that entire shoulder assembly is going to be plastic rubbing against plastic. So on paper, the Strike Noir should be phenomenal and incredible, but I'm afraid for how it's going to turn out in practice, because it's probably going to be great to pose him once or twice or 3 times, and after that the shoulder joints might just be completely worn out. At least one good thing is that the Strike Noir doesn't have giant guns, because that would be an atrocity if you had and a weak looking shoulder assembly and giant guns going with it. Well, that's all for 1/44 scale. Now let's move on to, oh no, wait, one more. Almost forgot the shiniest of them all, the Owashi Akatsuki Gundam. Also known as the Akatsuki Gundam with the guns, with the giant beam guns. And man, is this thing shiny. On one side, at least. And one thing I did notice is that while it might be incredibly shiny... Ooh, 2 different shades of gold. Oh, that's nice. Want to dry transfer once? Yeah, that's looking interesting. Now, what I was saying is that even though it's got a lot of shiny gold going on and it's going to look very impressive, the one thing I think is that it's still going to be the same old average Gundam Seed quality. Because, well, we already have a lot of stickers going on. The shoulders are just 2 solid pieces, just like the old Strike Gundam. No gray part that goes around here. The shield is just one giant gold slab, for which I'm going to assume some of these stickers here will go onto the shield. But at the very least, all of the averageness is going to be covered up by a nice amount of golden polish. Also, very nice looking beam sabers. Well, beam saber blades. Very nice looking. So it's definitely going to have pieces compensating for it. As I said, all of that gray here, that's going to be entirely gold. I know more gold is normally better, but not when it's not supposed to be there. And man, how long have we been going on for now? I'll hurry up. But now we're going to get to the 1/100 scales. For starters, an old one, the Dom. I already have this in 1/44 scale. And basically this looks like it's just going to be a scaled up version of set 1/44 scale, with additional water slide decals, because I don't think these were included with the old one, with the 1/44 scale one. Like, the markings were included, but not the red lines and whatnot. But yeah, this looks almost identical. I think the thrusters might have some additional, they might have some extra detail on there. I don't know, maybe the bazooka being darker, that was different, I think. But in general, most of the pieces do look like they're the same. Just a bit of extra color separation. Ah, well. And finally, for something I'm not known for, master grades. Because yeah, sometimes I do like to get myself a master grade. I got the Gundam Mark II. I got the Gundam Mark II. And I got the Gundam Mark II. Because sometimes buying one just doesn't cut it. And I had a lot of fun building this thing. And oh my god, is this a great Master Grade kit. It's not expensive at 3,500 yen. Of course, the 2.0. It's awesome, comes with a lot of stuff, great articulation, and I absolutely do not regret buying 3 of these at once. As well, once again, Black Friday sale, 20% off, and extra 20% off, so I just had to jump at the opportunity to buy this. Also love the red escape pod. And all the stuff you're getting with this thing. It's pretty damn impressive. Also mesh parts for the pipes for the pipes of the knees, for his backpack. Also chrome for the joints on his ankles. So it was a very impressive kit, lots of fun to build. And I think I might have said it already in this video, but I've suddenly entered a Titans phase. So expect a lot of Titans Hazel reviews in the future. Wait, that's not the only Master Grade I got. I also got myself. And then my memory card was suddenly full, which probably means I've been going on for way too long. But we're almost there. Gundam 1.5. And this has a very original inner frame. Oh, also still comes with the inner cardboard. That was something I always enjoyed about the older Master Grades. They came with like a poster-ish thing. And it's cool to have them around. Kind of a shame they stopped doing that. But let's see, we have a chain for the metal ball. Lots of water slide decals. It's already looking good. Beam effect parts in white. That is something they did a lot on the older Master Grades. But I guess they were doing that for people who like to paint their model kits so that they can also paint the clear parts. So that they can paint the beam effect parts in whatever color they want it to be. So you can choose if you're going to be a Jedi or a Sith. Beam Javelin. And so there's nicely detailed looking beam rifle. And what's that there? Oh, even a little metal part for the Gundam hammer. That's interesting. And this is definitely the most interesting part of the entire thing. A quite unique, well, unique for the time, inner frame. Because, well, this is essentially what they're now doing with the Real Grade line. Very, very unique stuff. I guess this is also the first model kit to really have something like that included. So, manual. It's going to be pretty interesting building a big Real Grade. But only for the legs and not for the arms. I guess maybe the arms are going to be remolded from the first one, or at least part then. Huh. How'd that happen? Then the final Master Grade. Definitely the most impressive of the Master Grades. I got Destiny Gundam Extreme Burst Mode. Now, I know that at the moment everyone is losing their shit over the Dragon Momoko metal build ripoff, but I've been waiting a long time to get my hands on this thing. And I'm going to have a lot of fun putting this thing together. A lot of chrome parts. Some nice effect parts set. No. Lots of effect parts, lots of stuff going on. Interesting looking colors. That shield's already looking very nice. Some more shiny inner workings. Wings. Yep, here are the weapons. Very nice stand. And one single screw. Huh, that's unusual. Usually these screws are used for the legs or the arms, but a single screw? Does that make... Oh! That's gonna be for the stand. Oh, interesting. That's cool. We're actually getting an adjustable stand. Huh. Back in the Gundam Seed days, those were always fixed pose. That's cool. That's very nice. That, and of course, those gorgeous wings. That's what we're paying for. And you cannot see them because the camera... Excuse me. Those big, gorgeous, shiny wings. Even got some rainbow effect going on. I'm gonna have a blast. An extreme blast building this. And that's all for this enormous new loot video that's been going on for way too long. So if you want a particular review of anything, definitely leave a comment down below. I'm kind of at the loss of what to build first next, so yeah, I'll definitely be looking at those. And then finally, a few quick announcements. I've recently started a Facebook page for Kakarot197, so link down below. I'll be posting kind of random stuff, what I'm building at the moment, pictures of what I'm building, random links, random things, you know, just a bit of good old fun. If you want to post something there, I'll respond as soon as possible, and all of that good stuff. So definitely check it out, leave a like if you want to. And another thing, I've also become a moderator for the Gundam Fans Benelux Facebook page. I guess I'm getting a lot more active on Facebook now. So if you're in either the Netherlands, in Belgium, or in Luxembourg, that is definitely the page for you. We're trying to get as many people on board as possible to kind of spread the Gundam love around. Because, well, there's never been too big of a Gundam fandom presence in Belgium, the Netherlands. I don't know about Luxembourg. So we're trying to spread it around a little bit. So if you're looking in Belgium, definitely hop along. You can share your stuff. Ask about where the best places to buy are, because of course in Belgium it's quite difficult to get your hands on Gunpla, especially if you do not want to shop online. If you want to shop online, the answer is pretty obvious. But yeah, we can help you out. Join along and join our, at the moment, still relatively small community. Then the final Facebook group I've kind of come into contact with is that of the Red Comet. Pretty much the same goal as Gundam Fans Benelux. They're the Belgian equivalent of the AUG in France. Pretty much just about spreading the Gundam love around. They'll be going to a lot of the major conventions. They'll have a booth there kind of explaining what Gundam is, explaining about Gunpla. And I'll be tagging along with them, which is why I'm mentioning them on... I think the first Belgian convention is going to be Made in Asia, which is where they're going to be, and where I'll also be on Saturday. I'll be bringing along some of my models, make their display a bit more impressive, and I'll also be hanging around their booth, talking to anyone who wants to, have a good chat about Gundam, introducing people to Gundam, because as I've said before, the Belgian Gundam community could use a few more people. It's always nice to introduce new people to the hobby. So, once again, links in the description down below. If you want to join us, definitely join us. And see you guys next time.